The iPhone 12 Pro Max is the top of the line iPhone from Apple this year. It has a new processor, new cameras, and a new design. But are these features worth the upgrade? Here's what you need to know. If you like this sort of content, consider subscribing to the channel. And with that said, let's get right into it. The iPhone 12 Pro Max has the largest screen of any iPhone to date, with a 6.7-inch 2778 by 1284 Super Retina XDR display. Being an OLED panel, it has superb black levels, excellent contrast, and overall just looks fantastic, even in broad daylight. There is also a new ceramic shield coating that covers the front screen, and should help with the improved drop resistance that is being boasted. However, I still always recommend using a case and screen protector. With all the new iPhones using OLED panels, you get slim bezels all the way around, which makes these new phones feel more modern than last year's iPhone 11, with its thicker bezels and LCD screen. There is still the arrangement of sensors at the top of the phone for Face ID, which in itself is not new, but for the majority of people upgrading from older phones, it is a welcome addition. Personally, I prefer using a fingerprint scanner, such as the one in my Galaxy S10, but the easy setup and seamless scanning of Face ID is still quite fast and very impressive. Powering this phone is the new A14 Bionic, and to put it simply, it is the most powerful processor on any phone to date. You won't notice any slowdowns whilst using the phone, and all the extra power that isn't being used right now will allow this phone to work well into the future for many years to come. Now for the design. The iPhone 12 Pro Max has a new, boxier design that hasn't been seen since the iPhone 5S. The front and back glass panels are completely flat and flush within the frame of the phone. The back glass is frosted with the camera cutout being glossy, which does provide a nice contrast. If you were to buy the iPhone 12 Pro, you would also have this finish. However, the cheaper iPhone 12 and 12 mini have the opposite, with the back glass being glossy and the camera cutout being frosted. The frame is made of polished stainless steel, which gives the phone heft, but also acts as a fingerprint magnet. On the side of the phone, there's a cutout for the 5G antenna that's only on the US variant, but I'll come back to that in a bit. The new design really is striking. The stainless steel frame makes the phone feel solid and allows it to be surprisingly manageable without being uncomfortable, unlike the rounded sides of iPhones prior. So if you haven't heard, the iPhone 12 Pro Max has 5G. 5G. But for real, there is a bit of controversy surrounding its inclusion. If you purchase the phone in the US, it will support millimeter wave 5G, which shows up as 5G UW on the screen. However, if you buy the phone from outside the US, it will only support low and mid-tier band 5G, which shows up as 5G and 5G Plus on the screen. This is kind of disappointing considering how many Android phones have had millimeter wave 5G capabilities for nearly 2 years. It's not like the lack of millimeter wave 5G is an issue. Many places in the world still don't have coverage of 5G. It's just that their phones aren't the same across all regions. It's similar to what Samsung does with their Exynos processors in their phones. The cameras on the iPhone 12 Pro Max are simply the best overall on the market. You'll be hard pressed to find a situation that this phone can't handle. Usually the Plus phones have the same cameras as the regular phones, such as the iPhone 12 Pro. However, this is not the case this year. The iPhone 12 Pro Max has a 12 megapixel wide camera, a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, a 12 megapixel 2.5 times telephoto zoom camera, and an all new LiDAR depth sensor, which allows for faster and more accurate camera focusing, as well as improved augmented reality. It can capture 4K video at 60 FPS, Dolby Vision HDR video, which is a proprietary format that can capture high dynamic range video, and can shoot excellent low light photos, videos, and time lapses. There are two differences with the main camera compared to its smaller brother, being the larger pixel sizes allowing for better low light performance, and sensor shift stabilization, which moves the camera to compensate for handshake. This is something we really only see in DSLR cameras, so it's great to see Apple innovating. It also has a 12 megapixel selfie camera that can record in 4K 60 and can do the whole Fleofl and Dolby Vision thing. To recap, the wide camera has sensor shift stabilization and the other two cameras have optical image stabilization. The iPhone 12 Pro Max has an IP68 rating up to 6 meters for 30 minutes. Even if it only applies to fresh water, this is still very impressive as the rest of the competition is stuck at a mere 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. Even so, I would still keep it away from water just in case. Just think of it as extra protection against accidental submersion in water. Surprisingly, the iPhone 12 Pro Max has a smaller capacity battery than its predecessor with a 3687 mAh battery. The slight decrease in capacity shouldn't be a problem as the A14 Bionic built on the 5nm process is more power efficient than last year's A13 Bionic, but it is something to be aware of. You really shouldn't have a problem lasting a day and with conservative use, even 2 days. The new iPhones also have MagSafe, a ring of magnets that allow for the new 15-watt MagSafe charger to snap to the back of the phone. is only for charging, and so you'll still need a lightning cable if you want to sync with iTunes. So, is the iPhone 12 Pro Max worth the upgrade? If you're coming from an iPhone 10 or above, it's probably not worth it. The only real upgrade is the much improved camera system, and while it would be nice to have the best of the best, the camera system on the iPhone 10 is still extremely capable. However, if the cameras are important to you, then it may be worth upgrading. For people upgrading from an older phone, such as an iPhone 6s or 7, you're getting a lot for what you're paying. Bigger screen, bigger battery, better cameras, Face ID, 5G, the list goes on. So is this the phone for everyone? No. For the majority of people, I would recommend getting an iPhone 12 or 12 Pro as there is more value to be had. But for the people that have money to spare, the iPhone 12 Pro Max is a zero-compromise, feature-rich device that will last well into the future. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like, as it would be greatly appreciated. Also, consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this in the future.